Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do a part two. That wasn't my intention, but I ran out of battery because I didn't charge my phone enough. So it's charged now. What I was getting at was there's a lot of people that feel like that they want out of this matrix. There's a lot of people that want out of the rat race. There's a lot of people that want to not keep up with the Joneses, that don't want to be comparing, but you feel like you have to. We've been conditioned for it, to compare everything, be in competition, to say we're not hating jealous, but we are. In every way, even with people who have so much more, we still fucking do it. I'm speaking for myself. This is where I'm at in life. At this age, debt-free, grown kids, living below my means, the pillars that are important to my life. This is how done I am. And this kind of eliminates a lot of people. Whatever social groups don't invite me no more, whatever cliques, allegedly friends, invites, whatever it is, I'm okay with that. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It's just the fact that some of you pretend like I don't know when I know. All right? This is how done I am. I'm not going to be around people who compare. I'm not going to be around people who are in competition. I'm not going to be around people who judge or ask people what they do for a living. That should be offered. That's like asking, why don't you ask people what their credit score is? To me, it's the same thing of asking, what's your pace for an ultra marathon? I don't talk about none of that. No comparison, no competition. I'm not going to be around people who one up. I'm not going to be around people who don't have their ego in check. I don't want to be around people who have no goals, no ambition. I don't want to be around people who are materialistic. I don't want to be around people who are in competition with everything. I don't want to be around toxic couples. I don't want to be around fake fucking people. Excuse me. I don't want to be around people who live in the past. But if I think about those things, I don't want to be around people who are jealous. We won't be around jealous couples. So when I go down the list of all these things, because there's more, somebody asked me a while back, said, well, Jason, that's pretty much everybody. I know, right? So I just hardly don't go around anyone. Because here's the thing is, people want to pull you into their arena so bad, and it doesn't work on me. It doesn't work on me. The only way it works is if you spend enough time with these people, they start getting to you. And most of the time you don't know it. Your social group has a lot to do with everything. It has a lot to do with your debt. It has a lot to do with what you purchase. It has a lot to do with who you hang around. I mean, I see so many couples, they can't spend no time alone. They spend zero time alone. You always see them with other people. And it looks like they're having a good time. And it don't mean that they're not having a good time. They don't enjoy each other's company enough. They don't enjoy their own company enough. I keep going back to where I'm at. At this point, I've told multiple people this lately. I don't care if I could choose the career and salary I want at this point. I don't want it. That sounds crazy to people. So someone asked me a while back when I told them, they said, why is that? And I get back to what I was talking about earlier. You're married to it. That person had a lucrative career and told me, you're right. When I did this, I was married to it. I didn't have a life. This is something that is frowned upon in this life. And I'm going to get to this. I want to do the least amount as possible to do the things I like. Because I understand I may have more time than I think I do, but I plan every day like I don't. Because how I want to live my life isn't going to involve me working, trying to accumulate more. It's going to be a more subtraction. And right now, like getting debt free, I don't want to see my name and the fucking Mamacita's name on a motherfucking thing except utilities and taxes. And if it's up to me, it wouldn't be fucking that. That's how much I'm about reduction. I'm talking about if I didn't drive a lot for a living, I wouldn't even want a fucking driver's license. That's a smile. When we spend more time at the coast, I plan on driving vehicles less. I want to take a fucking scooter, walk. I want to ride my bike. If it wasn't for hopefully collecting the Social Security benefits here in about 12, 13 years, Because I'm going to draw them the first fucking year I'm eligible. I'm not waiting. I'll push it out till 70. Fuck that. I know enough now that I can work around that. If it wasn't for hopefully drawing the benefits that I've worked for and paid in since at least 13 years old. So that puts me at like 37 years now. Higher years, lower years. But there was a good solid 20 years there I paid in a fucking lot of taxes for a working class man. Whatever you call that, for that income. If it's available, I want my fucking benefits I worked for. If it wasn't for that, I'd try to get rid of my fucking Social Security number. The only reason I stay on social media is because of this. So I know what happens to people. Don't lose touch with people I've connected with, that's connected with me, that we don't want to lose touch. If we never would have had it, we wouldn't know any different. If it wasn't for that, I'd probably check out of that too. See, the society thinks people like us, are we weird and crazy? I fell in some of those traps for a long time. I think a lot of you motherfuckers are weird and crazy. That y'all all want the same things. People are starting to look alike. Kids are starting doing the same things. You know what? We pushing the same things. We're pushing the same things down everyone's throat. I feel like we're living in a fucking virtual reality. But the more authentic and real you are, the more it's fucking discouraged. Like, is it going to be against the law? Is that what it's going to turn out? I mean, that sounds fucking crazy, but look at where we're at now. There's a lot of things we didn't think would be like this. Why is wanting out of this rat race, the matrix? Why do we accept so many things? That's just the way it is. That's fucking stupid now. The more you educate yourself, really educate yourself, not school education, self-educate. The more time you spend in solitude, I recommend spending more time in solitude. I'm not telling you to be an ultra endurance athlete. I'm telling you, train alone, study alone, sit back and observe. Look what's going on. Look at the world we've created and we lived in. And the people that want out are weird and crazy. Is it crazy to y'all that some of us don't want the same things? What you think is, really, if you can get us to spend enough time, or you can invite us, that you can pull us into that comparing and competition, then we'll start feeling like our house is less, our cars are less. You know, it's like I tell them, I said, when we're out and about, or we're somewhere, we go to an event and we're dressed like we dress. I mean, we're a confident couple. I'm confident, not cocky. I mentioned someone we was in an event a while back. We weren't dressed up all the time. I'm gonna dress how I'm gonna dress. I got board shorts on that are palm trees and look like 80s jams. Y'all remember them 80s shorts? I got Vans on, and I got my ambassador hat and my brand shirt right now. Drinking a mimosa, vaping. People think deep down you still want it. I don't fucking want it. Just like the career and the salary and everything. What? So I can buy more? This is what they'll say. People that really that are pretty good with their finances and driven in that way. They'll say so they can change it for generations. I get that. I want to do that too. But keep going back to it. We seem to only want to change stuff monetary wise, material wise. Because what we want to do, especially with our generation, if we work hard enough, that they don't have to. And we see that, even if you're not wealthy financially, we see that with the last two generations right now. Everything that we said made us who we are was apparently too good for them. No doubt. I've said it many times. There's things I don't want them to have to go through that we did. But some things should be a requirement of life. That's why it's not appreciated. That's why the instant gratification. And there's people in our age group that didn't have to go through that shit either. They didn't have to. Don't think that everybody from Generation X has grit, wasn't spoiled and wasn't enabled and wasn't privileged, because I know a fucking bunch of them from our generation that was. You don't have to apologize for it. But things I thought I wanted then, I'm so glad I'm not you people now. The best things in life can't be bought. This is why we preach You know, if you talk to people, they'll talk, if they're talking about their family or their kids or something, they preach it's looks, it's education, it's athletics, it's what school they went to, because the ballers, the bosses, they tell you that's all that matters. Let me tell you something. Please understand this. Because I've talked to a few people, when I talk like I do, I can tell they may think it's not ambitious enough. We're no less ambitious and driven and disciplined, and our zeal and energy for life and the things we want to accomplish are not less, because it's not revolved around money and materialism. Again, how would society look if we lived below our means, we were working jobs and having careers, whatever that is, that we enjoyed, that we didn't hate, we were in relationships where people didn't settle, that they weren't complacent, that they actually gave a fuck about each other, that they just didn't want to split up and get a divorce or half assets? Because that's a lot of what it is. What if we didn't push what's going to pay you the most down people's throats, or schools you want people to go to? Because you hear that. I don't think that people are genuinely concerned if people are good people. I think I'm convinced that as soon as you see their looks, whether it be children, anything, you see their career, you see where they live and all that, we can think about this. I don't know if people really think about this, that you consider that good people. If it looks good, they're good people. You don't care if they're good right here. I really think that, I don't think that most society cares if they're good right here. That fucking pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, chasing the leprechaun, the unicorn. Let me say this, I don't want it. I'm not chasing that. I'm not trying to go into any of y'all's arena and compete with y'all. I don't have no fucking desire for it. But I invite you to enter our arena. See how long you last. See what you'll do. Even if it's just verbally. Even if we don't even go do anything physical, mentally. I think that most of y'all can't even go mentally. Most people aren't mentally stable. They don't even have the capacity anymore. The need for more of everything is hollow. I want to check out of this whole society. I don't know. Maybe as we get further along, maybe I do delete all my social media. I'm not going to get on here and say I'm going to do it and then I don't do it. Your life's going to look the same each year. The new year changing on the calendar don't make a fucking difference if you don't make no changes. So even though I think this year sucked, I looked at the positives, and I also had to hold myself accountable on most of it. I didn't sit around and get lazy about anything. Some of it with resources was out of our control. Again, how does your life look if you keep that car 10 or 15 years? If you don't upgrade your house, if you don't get credit cards? And the thing is we got to quit preaching universities and school to some of these young people. Trades. Everyone wants to be a creator and an influencer. And if you can, the thing young people do, they have the advantage of, like I was talking about the podcast earlier in segment 1, they can make these things work for them a lot faster than we can. If I would have been 20 years younger, this would probably be in a totally different place right now, I'm sure. Just don't want to fuck with stuff. I think about these things and I'll go, when you're not concerned with the things I listed, I mean, comparison, compete, and one up, and keeping up with the Joneses. All of you listen to this, this may not be you, but it's probably somebody you know or the circle you spend time with. We're offended by the truth more than anything. When you don't care about these things, people want you to care about them. They don't understand why you don't want what they want. This is where I'm at in life. And again, this was part 2 because my phone, my apologies, not perfect. This is real. This is authentic. I don't think another house will make my life better. Is it going to be paid for? If I was 10 years younger and I could put it on a 15-year mortgage, I still wouldn't. Is a new truck going to make my life better? New car. With a payment? Now, you got ballers and bosses out there to say pay cash. Most people can't. Paying cash to me, I guess I'm low class, blue collar, whatever you want to call it. This is my Honda that I drive that we paid $5,000 for 6 years ago. 13 years old. I hope I drive it 3 or 4 more years. I don't want another house. It's not. I have my house designed if money wasn't a factor. I also have my house designed when this one's sold and what we can pay cash for. I plan to be in that next position, but I'm not revolving my life around it. So let me see. I visualize being in that next step, next position, but I plan for the position I'm in now. Make sense? Everyone has their dream house. Mine is still way within reason because it probably wouldn't be places. It'd probably be multiple places, very, very efficient and frugal in multiple places. But that's not the case right now. When I think about what will improve my life, quality of my family's life, mental and physical health, it's not another home. It's not more square feet. It's not another car or truck. It's not another credit card. It's not a higher credit limit. Look, I don't give a fuck about that either. When I say if it wasn't for drawing my Social Security, I'd get rid of my Social Security card. I'd get rid of my Social Security number, my driver's license. It'd be the same thing with a credit score. Fuck you and fuck your credit score. I don't give a fuck. I don't even want it no more. I can remember mine was fucking immaculate. And I can remember when it was shit. And I never quit fucking taking care of my responsibilities. It was called life. I don't want it no more. Another house ain't gonna make my life better. More debt of any kind. Again, there's necessary debt and unnecessary debt. It doesn't mean we're not gonna have to get any more debt in our life, but it's gonna be real carefully planned. Another car, truck, it'll make you look better. I mean, you have a house unless you entertain. There's a lot of people I know, they get a house. They don't say this. They get a house to entertain people. You invite people to your house so you can show off your house. That way they can see your other stuff and go, oh, they're doing good. Oh, man, whoever thought they'd be doing this good. Oh, they've made the right decisions in life. So everyone that's not in that position has made the wrong decisions. Is that what it is? It's like saying that everyone that's worked hard and that it's paid off, and everyone that's in a good position financially with their home, with their savings, again, with their cars, or they look good on the outside, whatever it is, that they've made the right decision, and everyone that's not made bad decisions. I ain't never did drugs. I ain't never been to prison. I ain't never lost a job. I've retired from a place already. I could just take 2 employers at my age. That's 30, almost 32 years of my life. I've all bought 3 houses by the time I was 30. Sold 2 of them. Lost 1. That unraveled that one. I can go on and on. I'm not just speaking for me. I'm just speaking from my experience. The thing about it is we love to say that. We love to say those. And here's another thing. Everyone's became generic. Generic responses, generic conversations. You want to get those things because it looks good to other people. You want to invite people because if you really didn't give a fuck, your life would look different. Your relationships would be different. You would feel different. You would talk different. And this is a problem a lot of y'all have with me. It's a reflection. I'm not saying anybody wants to be me. You should only want to be who you are. That's another thing. Is I never wanted to be like another man. Didn't as a kid. Again, I wasn't raised. I didn't have the father, grandfather, uncles thing. People that know me know I've always been my own man. It intimidates people. I don't have. There's not one person I ever want to be like them. There's not one person I want to be like now. I want to be the best version of me. Higher credit limit, better house, better car, more material things, more maintenance. Can I pay somebody to do it or do I have to do it? If I have to do it, do I know how to do it? I don't want to mow this fucking yard. I'd make the motherfucker concrete and gravel. I've talked about that. Yeah. You got to be done. This is where I'm at. It's the last time for a lot of shit. And it feels free. Here's another thing. You know that some of us are free. You're not free. As long as you give a fuck what people think on every level, you are not fucking free. The reason you care what people think because you think it's going to provide some opportunity. You think you might miss out on something. You think it might be more popularity. You think it might lead to a promotion. You think it might lead to a fucking raise. You think someone might come along and make you, and they might. Still compromised. You still compromise. You don't like it because we ain't compromised. You don't like it because we won't compromise. We're free and you're not. You know that. All these things ain't gonna make me a better life. Here's what'll make a better life for me, and this is what I'm working on. When I think of better quality of life, I think about better mental and physical health. First thing, health. Because nothing else matters if your health ain't right. And it could have something can come expected for all of us. None of that shit matters when you got a health problem. You get a health scare or anything, all of a sudden you fucking freeze. We think, oh, this shit don't matter till this happens. It don't matter any goddamn way. I used to think it did. We're conditioned for that. That's the way we've been programmed. Just like right now, if I went back to school, I don't think there's nothing they can teach me in school that I can't teach myself. I'm going to get it from instructors and teachers, nothing against them, no disrespect. They're going to teach me the way that they've been taught to teach, that the way they've been instructed. The way that I study, I have free range to study whatever I want. And this is one of the things why I don't get in conversations with certain people, whether it be religion or things like that. Tunnel vision, the way they've been taught their whole life, the way they've been instructed. I'll tell them I've studied outside those parameters. You know what y'all were told you couldn't do? That's what I did. What I'm still doing. That's what I'll continue to do. When I think of better quality of life, I think about better food. I think about better health. I think about more time with my loved ones because it is fucking limited. I think about more training. I think about more traveling, more experiences. I think about more alone time. I think about the few people that I really value as friends. Because I have a list of friends on Facebook and Instagram. No offense against some of y'all, but y'all know y'all haven't been friends in a long time. Maybe I haven't been a good friend. I apologize for that. But I'm not fucking compromised. A lot of you are compromised. You care more about what other people think than what you think of yourself. I care about what I think of myself more than what other people think of me. What does the quality of life look like if you reduce and subtract? So this year is going to look a lot like a lot of other years if you don't do something about it. And I'm taking control right now. My pull, push, run starts today. Anybody that wants to get involved with it, let me know. It's just a t-shirt, but you got to earn it. Not going to give people shit. I'm going to jump back on here because I now see I'm doing this and I have more thoughts. Y'all want to follow up? Y'all want to talk about it more? Is this helping? Is this you? Is this somebody in your family? What are you living? Are you living your truth? Are you aware that we're running out of time? And all this shit's going to go away. It don't even fucking matter. Quit fucking around with your life. Because right now, man, you think that credit rating matters. You think that school matters. You think getting approved for that house matters. Yeah, it's nice accomplishments. But again, no one's less ambitious and no less driven and no less motivation's bullshit because they don't want what you want. I encourage more people checking out of society. See, all we know to do is fucking consume. We consume and devour everything. When we have a chance to get less stress and we have a chance to get out of debt, we just compound it. We compound it and then we look up and, I mean, here's another thing before I go. Life goes by fast, but I've really put together a lot of stuff and I think that it's really, social media has made life sped up even more. I think since COVID, I think that social media makes us feel like we're doing more than we're doing. And with kids and grandkids and stuff like that, it just goes by so quick. We watch people's kids and grandkids grow up on social media. We're watching all of us get older. It is an asset. It's an advantage in some ways. On one hand, there's so many advantages to utilize to help our lives. But on some ways, I just feel like these people that have totally gotten off the grid and just fucking got rid of all of it, I get that too. Our lives, I read some information a while back and some criteria on how social media has sped up our life. and has actually accelerated things. And gave a whole explanation. It's pretty detailed, scientific. And I thought, and I'll have to find it again. God, it made so much sense to me. He said we're like living about 3 years in a year. Scary. How do we slow this down? We slow it down by removing ourselves. Slow it down by getting out of stuff, by subtraction. A better life is subtraction. It's not more. If y'all feel like you need to still follow the boss and baller and grinder and the grind at all costs and wake up in 10 or 20 years, even if you have financially what you want to accomplish, don't be surprised if you arrive very disappointed, because the ultimate disappointment and failure is achievement without fulfillment. I know we hate to hear that. Y'all fucking stay humble, but live savage. There is a difference. Talk to y'all later.